Is it healthy for all of us, actually, to have a break from our kids? We're calling it a sabbatical. Do you like that? We're going to have a whole dictionary of the loose women words now, aren't we? A sabbatical. Do you think that's a good idea?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think if you can get away, because if you think about it, you know, you suddenly have this baby. It's such a shock when you have a baby, and your partner is so used to you, you know, being there for them and staring into eyes, and then suddenly, I'm going to use this. You've got this. This was me for the first. Yeah. What? In a minute. Bed. What? Me. You. Sex. And that's very hard for them. And I know that women can be very. Listen, you know, I've had the baby, they've got to put up with it, that's the way it is, I'm going to be frazzled, we're not going to have any time, and I get that. But actually, it's not that good for relationships. You do have to try and get some point when you get away, and we certainly did that with Maddie. She was a couple of months old, I was breastfeeding, and we thought, OK, let's have a couple of nights away. We went to Paris on the Eurostar. So we got there, did the classic, I pumped my breast for the milk, put it in the mini bar. To bed, lay on the bed, fell asleep for 4 hours, didn't so much as have a snog, went out for dinner, came back, did the business, woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was frantic. Baby, we've got to go home. What are we doing in Paris? We're insane. And I will love Mark for this forever. And he went, well, I suppose we've had a kip and we've had a bit of the other. Yeah, come on, let's go home. That made me love him so much, because if I'm honest, I had done it for him and I'd done it for the relationship, but really I wanted to be with my baby.
Yeah, I did a similar thing when Jack was quite young, and obviously Eamon's 3 children from his first marriage, and we always used to go on holiday together. And then when Jack came along, and you worry that they're going to think, is this going to change the kind of dynamic with their dad? And we went away, it must have been Easter, so Jack was probably 10 weeks old, and I left him with our then nanny, thinking, he won't know, he's a baby. Just, I wasn't breastfeeding, so... and it was awful. It was the biggest mistake of my life. And actually, Eamon, bless him, said exactly the same. I spent the whole time crying. And on day 2, he went, just go. It's too soon. But having said that, since then, it's really important, I think, to have that time. We did go to the cinema and both fell asleep. I've never seen Ocean's 9. We saw the opening first scene, and then we woke up dribbling on each other at the end credits.
I think all these stories tell me an awful lot about you, because not having kids, every time I hear people say, oh, well, I'm missing the kids. The kids, like in the case of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, these children are tiny. They won't know.
Well, I thought
they
that.
Won't make,
no, you're right.
Tells you more about the parents than it does.
It's not about us.
It's not about the kids, is it?
No.
And then what about the people who say they can't leave their pets? And they're worried they can't go on holiday because, the pet's going to miss them. The pet's the pet. It's exactly the same.
Oh, no, my dog, she'd miss me.
Well, no, I wouldn't leave my kid in a kennel.
When we went away on this trip, me and Mark, I left.
You're not going to mention breast milk again.
I might. So, because the baby slept with my friend that was looking after my baby, said that she could sleep in the bed with her, and she woke up in the middle of the night, and Maddie had found my friend's breast and was sucking on it. I did that just to wind her up. I did that especially for you, Janet.
So far, I'm feeling very, very
You must have a good breast story. Hear it from the other side.
I just said as big as the other were useless when it came to babies. Totally useless.
Oh, can we move off, babies? Because I'm starting to feel very, very anxious.
Okay.
Well, do you think it's just important to have time with your partner, then?
Do I think?
Yeah, just generally.
Not too much.
Like a
because we did
weekend
that
away.
the other day, and I think I held up 14.9.
Yeah, it's very specific.
I think it is. I think it's time to have time to yourself.
Yeah.
And just catch up and remember who you are, and don't smell a baby sick for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I think that looking after yourself is actually the most important thing. Yeah. Having time in your week when you're just doing what you want to do and no one's in the room.
Okay, that
and
never
getting a night's
happens.
sleep as well.
Yeah, getting a nice good night's sleep.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free, and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.